Hey everybody, what's up? Tim here with this week's SCE. I hope wherever you're at, you are doing phenomenal and crushing it today, and thanks so much for watching. Title for today's shoot is Run Towards Your Battles, Not Away From Them. Now, as humans, you and I have the inborn tendency, desire, intention to try to remain comfortable in all situations. We as people don't like to be uncomfortable. We like to be comfortable being comfortable. We like certainty, we like assurance, and we like to know what's going on. And anytime something comes along that seems to compromise that, most people want to run the other way. However, that is not the key to getting through anything or achieving anything. As a matter of fact, the key is exactly the opposite. We need to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. And a lot of times when we experience difficulties or problems or challenges, we avoid them, we try to run from them, we try to put them off, we try to procrastinate, and they actually end up getting worse. And many times the mental game that we play with ourselves, the fear, the worry, the anxiety that gets created over them, far outseeds even what would be needed to step into those things and solve them. But because we avoid them and we let that fear and that worry grow, we let the problem fester, it gets worse and worse and worse because we think it's going to be uncomfortable for us to go after those things and us to attack them. But once again, that's the wrong direction to go. Diamonds are made through heat and pressure. If there isn't heat and pressure applied to coal, it's going to stay as coal. And although coal's great to warm your house, nobody's willing to pay tens of thousands of dollars for it. But diamonds, people are willing to pay outrageous amounts of money, and they're one of the hardest and most durable substances on the planet. And the reason for that is because they've been subjected to heat and pressure over long periods of time. And that's the way greatness is achieved, and that's the way we get out of any single obstacle or difficulty. We are willing to accept the heat and pressure, and we don't run from it, we actually run towards it. Now, there's a great story that comes out of the Bible, the story of David and Goliath, and hopefully you're familiar with it. If not, David was this young boy who took on this gigantic warrior named Goliath, and nobody in the army that David was with wanted to fight him. Everybody ran, including the king. Nobody wanted to fight this guy because he was monstrous and he was notorious for being a mighty warrior. But David said, I'm going to fight him. And David got ready and went out on the battlefield and took on Goliath and actually ended up killing him. Now, the interesting thing is if you read the story, David ran toward Goliath to face him. He didn't try to lure him into a trap. He didn't try to trick him. He actually ran out to confront him. And I think that's a great lesson for us. Whether we're confronted with obstacles and difficulties and challenges, or there's something awesome that we're trying to do and achieve, and there's a dream in our heart, many times there's going to be opposition. Many times there's going to be adversities. Many times it's going to look like it's impossible. And as a result of that, we get discouraged and we get frustrated. We listen to other people's opinions. We listen to the voices in our own head. It creates fear and worry and depression and discouragement and anxiety. And that mental game can discourage us, in addition to all the actual challenges that we have to encounter. But the secret is not to run from those things, but to run toward them. Run toward the obstacle. Run toward the difficulty. Run toward the challenge. Because when you do, you are communicating, I am not afraid. I'm not intimidated by you. I've got enough faith in myself and my resources that I am going to conquer you. And a couple of things happen. Number one is you flip the mental game. You flip the psychological script from one of saying I can't to one of saying I can. And your mental dialogue starts to reshift, and then you start to take different actions. And that's the biggest thing, is the actions that you take. Because once you start to attack a problem with action, it becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. Maybe you're just taking little tiny actions, but that's okay because you begin to unpack it bit by bit and you start to gain momentum and you see that I can conquer this. So no matter how hard the obstacle or the challenge is, by taking that action, we immediately begin to shrink it, and we immediately begin to dissolve the illusions that are around it, the illusions of fear and worry and of it being impossible, and we realize that it can be done and that we can do it and we are meant to do it. We're meant to get through it. Likewise, if there's a dream or desire in your heart, don't run from it. Don't put it off. Run towards it. Run towards that destiny. Run towards that purpose. Because once again, you're taking action. And as you take action, your confidence builds. You start to gain victories. You start to gain momentum. And you realize that not only do you want to do it, but you're meant to do it. And you and the world are better off for it. And you are making a contribution through going after those things. So you and I shouldn't be intimidated by anything. Challenge, difficulty, whatever. We shouldn't be intimidated by the size of our dream or the size of our passion or our purpose. We should be excited by it. We should be excited by challenges and difficulties because they're opportunities for us to get better. I bet each of you our products, more of your failures and the things that you blew up and the challenges and the difficulties that you faced and overcame than you are even by the successes that you undertook. And a lot of times it's those challenges and those difficulties that are the very springboards that get us to where we need to go. And if they didn't happen, we wouldn't be where we need to be. And think about the things you ran from. I bet you regret it. Can you live with that regret? Can you live with the regret of something beating you and being bigger than you? Can you live with the regret of leaving your destiny, your purpose, your goal on the table? I don't think you can, or you wouldn't be watching this. So the secret to getting through challenges and difficulties, the secret to getting those dreams and those passions out of the realm of your imagination into the realm of reality is to run towards them. Don't be intimidated by the challenges. Don't be intimidated by the possibilities. Don't let the giant bully you or push you around. Run toward the giant. Run toward the battle, step into it, and you will see that all kinds of forces come to your aid that you never ever could have expected before, because you are taking the power, you are taking the ownership, you're saying, I'm meant for this, I'm bigger for this, and I will make this happen. So Tim, with today's SCE, hoping you found this helpful. Run toward the giant, run into the battle, not away from it, and you will do and achieve and become things that you never thought possible. You will make the impossible possible. You will come through the most difficult challenges and obstacles that you never thought were going to happen. The things that were looking to break you are actually going to make you, and you are going to make yourself and your friends and colleagues in the world a better place for it, and it's going to increase your confidence to move to that next level and take on things that are bigger and bigger and bigger, and your level of fulfillment's going to rise, your competency's going to rise, and you are just going to become a mighty force to be reckoned with. So have a great day. I'll talk to you soon.